Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes, sing it, let the city know you rock 'em. Yeah, we got 'em, yeah, we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em. Single bottle, never stop it. To the beast and know 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes, flossing on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen. We gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly.
What's up, everybody? This is Ted Karras with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cincy Hat, and you're watching Bengals and Brews.
Yes, you are. I'm Dell, joined by Pork Chop and joined by BSG. What is up, everybody? It is Monday.
Hi.
I'm a robot.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
I am up for some of Yosh's
Degeneracy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm ready to be a degenerate.
we're good at that. Happy birthday to Nicole for Midwest Best Barbecue. Got my Midwest Best Barbecue t-shirt on here. Sleeves cut out, of course, because, you know.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dale, you had that shirt forever. I'm like, oh, Dale didn't get rid of that shirt, did he? So thank God you didn't, buddy.
No, it's just a lot more comfortable to wear now, Greg.
There you go, man. Hey, as long as you're wearing it, that's all that matters.
And
hey,
as
Nicole, this is a good shirt. They start selling tank top shirts now.
That's a good idea.
Also, happy birthday to my boss, Rob, at work, who is also a supporter of the show.
Happy birthday, Rob.
Happy birthday, Rob.
Rob and Nicole. Both of them.
Yeah. And you know what? For Rob's birthday, what's funny is I didn't even know about this. I did get him a $10 gift card to Midwest Best. So,
oh, that's nice. You go up there and get him a 6-pack of wings.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or he can go get himself. I'm just kidding, Rob.
And since he don't have to buy his lunch because he can go to Midwest, he can go to the chop shop and order a t-shirt.
There you go, man.
Yes.
Got all.
Get one of these bangers. I just made one yesterday. It was Superheroes one.
Yeah, saw that. Miley has her Minecraft one. She loves that one.
You likes
know?
it? Good.
Oh yeah, it's a good one for the kids. You know that if they like Minecraft, you got Bengals and Minecraft all in one T-shirt from the Chop Shop. Yeah. ChopShop513.myshopify.com. You know, be a good father, be a good mother. Get your kid a Minecraft Bengals T-shirt from the Chop Shop.
Yeah, if you don't, then you're really at risk for Child Protective Services coming to your house.
Hey, you know what else you're at risk for? If you put me in a kicker, as if any of you saw my videos from Saturday, you're really at risk of losing the game if you're a Bengals fan.
No, I saw Jimmy make a kick.
Yeah. Jimmy made a kick. Sir Boy Wonder, who was with us, he wasn't even trying or anything. He was just doing it for the hell of it. Made 3 kicks in a row. Sir Boy Wonder, he is now Sir Kick Wonder and all that and stuff. So SKW Chop, that's a t-shirt.
Long ass Twitter handle. All Sir Wonder Kick, all that and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Sir Boy Wonder, he should be the new kicker. He was drilling him, man. I was trying. I had everything all prepped out, and oh my God, I was horrible. And I lost another bet to Mason.
I also watched Greg run 30 yards and then do the gritty in the end zone, but the 30-yard run was a struggle, boys. And
his pants were falling down. My pants were falling down.
I thought you were running to the bathroom.
Yeah,
no, my pants were falling down. I wore a pair of gym shorts because this happens to me all the time. I always like to wear something underneath because if my shorts rip or something, that's not good. So I don't wear any
underwear when you wear gym shorts?
Oh, I wear underwear, then I wear gym shorts, then I wear pants, shorts or whatever.
It's a lot going on there. But as we titled the show, talks have resumed with Trey Hendrickson per Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, who seems to be one of the more connected people with the Bengals, like from the Bengals side. Someone in the organization, I feel like, tells him. So at least on the Bengals side. Chop has a theory about how maybe that phone call went. So I'll be like, ring, bring. And then what happened?
No, it probably went like, Trey called the stadium and they're like, oh, look, it's Trey. Hey, what's up, Trey? He was like, what's going on, guys? And they're like, not too much, man. It's 85 up here today. And he's like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And they're like, all right, now, talk to you later. He's like, okay. And then he hangs up. And that's talks.
And then they probably went to Jeremy Fowler and they're like, we have resumed talks with Trey Hendrickson.
Right. They're like, we just got a phone call from Trey Hendrickson.
They probably called. They might actually called It might have went like this. It might have went bring, bring. And then they were like, hey, Trey, it's some low-level staffer from the Bengals organization calling to wish you a happy Father's Day. And he said, oh, okay, thank you. And that was the end of it.
Hey, Trey, it's me, Josh. I'm down here cleaning the jock straps for next week. What's going on, man?
Yeah.
Just want to say hi. I miss you.
You know, none of the top-level people called it. There's no way.
No.
But hopefully contract talks.
If it was like 80 Blackbird butt dial. Like, oh, shit, I got Trey on the line. Butt dial.
For the record, when me, Jimmy, and Sir Boy Wonder were in the locker room, Sir Boy Wonder pointed this out. Stewart's shoes were in his locker, right? And Yoshi's locker, I was mainly paying attention to, but they went. So for some reason, security was crowded in there. I have no idea why. And you know what else I saw? A fridge full of Gatorade. I'm talking free Gatorade. I asked if I could have one. They said no.
That was Joe Burrow's fridge. He's got the fridge in there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Trey Hendrickson to Greg started talking about Shamar Stewart has shoes. I don't know
there you go.
Where the correlation there was, but do we think that Trey will be signed before training camp? With talks resuming, do you feel any differently than you did 2 days ago about this?
Okay. Is the bet coming up here again?
No one said to make any bet. It's just a simple question. Do you feel any differently now that talks have resumed?
Yeah,
do you feel more confident that things
I'm more
get done
confident
before training
it's going to happen before training camp, yes. You know what? I expect it to get done in the latest 2 weeks. I don't have any tea leaves or nothing. I don't have anybody that I know or anything.
Nope. The needle has not moved for me. Like, I'm just fucking over it. So, I mean, until there's like a press conference where Trey's signing, I ain't going to believe shit.
But you know what I'm not over, Chop?
What?
Drinking coffee out of this gorgeous mug of you
No,
from the Chop Shop.
You're lucky you're inside your house, because if you were out in your front yard, that'd be like a free sex sign.
Yes, it would.
People be stopping by.
Yes, it would.
But yeah, Trey Hendrickson. Jesus Christ, Greg. Greg is like a fucking monkey today, trying to keep it like we're going to probably talk Bengals 5 or 10 minutes, and Greg is all over the fucking place here. That spraying them weeds today got him on.
Yeah, but we got our. So I got my walk behind Z sprayer back. I was going around circles spraying weeds today, so I'm a little out of it, guys. Wasn't sniffing any chemicals or nothing. I can't say that. No, I seriously wasn't. But yeah.
Like, no, really. Wasn't. Sounds like he's gotten in trouble for that.
No, I have not gotten in trouble or nothing.
He probably chased some students around with it.
No, but like I say, look, Trey, the fact that they've resumed talks, the fact that they've been jabbering back and forth, that's a good sign for me right there. I mean, come on. Something has to get done here. I mean, you can't think that we never thought, we didn't know if they would ever talk to each other ever again. And now they're talking. That's a big step right there. Am I right?
I figured they'd talk, and I figured trade play. I figured he'll eventually take the deal that the Bengals gave him, because he's fucking pushing over 30 years old, and he's under contract. What's he going to do?
Yeah,
I mean, no shade on Trey.
You know, it sounded like they talked about there being a little more positive thought to it now. So maybe the Bengals are actually like, you know what? We just need to get this done. You know, maybe behind the scenes, Joe Burrow said like, hey, can we get this done so we don't have to talk about this? Like, let's get it done before training camp, guys. Like, maybe let's come to the solution.
Hey, this jerk off we got to fucking replace him ain't even practicing.
Yeah.
So we better get the one of the two out there and fuck this guy.
Right.
Yeah. So the exact quote was, for the first time in several months, there is some optimism surrounding.
Yeah.
So it's like.
That's coming at 5:30 on Jeff's show. I'm still like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, where are you at, Dale?
Yeah, Dale.
I don't know. I think it's good. Talks have resumed, whatever those talks are. I would like to know if they're anywhere close on either side caving, because, you know, I'm sure Trey has a number that he wants to at least hit, and I'm sure it's probably somewhere close to Max Crosby, if I had to make an educated guess. I don't know that it's Myles Garrett's $40 million, but I bet he wants what Max Crosby, and who is the other guy for the Texans?
Danielle Hunter.
Danielle Hunter, even though it was only 1 year, extension, slotting in somewhere around like 35 to 36 million a year. And that's probably what he's wanting. And we've heard different things about the Bengals. We heard 23 million at one point, 28 million at one point. That doesn't sound anywhere close to potentially 36. So can they bridge that gap? Would 32 bridge that gap? Is there a world that he would sign for 32? How many years is he wanting? So I think these are all part of the equation here. I could see like what I think, because I think you're gonna have to at least come up to 32. And if he wants security, that's a lot of money. And you give him 3 years. Give him a 3-year extension added to this at 32. So the average is 32. You give him 3 years, 96 million. That keeps him here for 4 years. I mean, that's great for him if he wants security.
Yeah, I just can't believe that's going to happen. I cannot honestly not see any team that would do that.
I mean, that's just kind of the market, right? That's the.
I understand it's the market. I understand it's the market, but that's where I sort of side with the Bengals right there. Let me explain to you this way. Say if you're in a car accident, you can't move a single body part and all that. And let's say and I'm going to use this term right now.
Trey in a car accident?
Like they're talking. That's like wiggling a toe. Hey, wiggling a toe is better than nothing, right? I mean, something's working.
Chop looks very confused.
Because your body hasn't been moved forever because talks have been going back and forth. But all of a sudden, something with optimism, the guy's wiggling his toe, which means that's a sign that, it's like comparing to wiggling a toe. Hey, that's progress. Now let's see if we can get you walking now. Right?
No, as a fan, it's like being fucking pummeled. Boom, boom, boom. They're just fucking pummeling us, and then they skip one punch. That's what it's like because ain't shit happened. They came out. There's a fucking article that says resumes of talk or talks have resumed. What the fuck ever, man. Ain't nothing happened.
Yeah.
Don't bring that shit to me when nothing fucking happening.
If it's not going to be okay, a deal's done. Like, hey, here it is. It's done. You would love to hear like talks are like, it's progressing toward a deal even. Like the sides are getting closer. Like if it said something like that, I think, I'd be more excited because it'd be like, okay, that means there's some movement that these sides are caving a little bit. Because I still think, for me, just from what we know, that they're so far apart on money and years and everything, it sounds like. So if that's the case, I still think the most likely thing is, yes, a contract gets done, but it's like a reworked contract for this season where he gets more money this season and he plays this season. And then he hits the open market, or they try to negotiate with him as a free agent if he doesn't get what he wants on the open market next year.
I mean, that's the best deal for Trey is just get a 1-year deal if he's not going to get the 3-year, $32 million, like you said, extension, because he wants to go look somewhere else and get that big deal, and he wants to play this year. So maybe that's the thing.
Well, he's already stated he's not playing on the current contract. So, yeah, you do have 3 years.
Well, let me tell you something, though, about not playing on the current contract. What they offered him is a new contract. So maybe Trey just knows, but maybe he knows that by the end of the thing, he's just going to sign the deal or whatever,
How do you know?
And I think this is very fair. That what Chris says here for the podcast listeners, the offseason had 3 players take pay cuts because their performance didn't match their salary. Shouldn't they use that same logic with Trey when they're at the negotiating table? My performance has outperformed my contract.
Well, you heard what Trey said.
Hence, I expect a better contract.
Well, Trey said, if I had 4 sacks last year, they would have immediately taken money away from me without even talking to me about it. The Bengals, we all know the Bengals would have done something like that. So, yeah, absolutely. I see that.
But that's where I'm at with it, though, is honestly, I still think, something gets done so he plays. And it may be after week 1. I still could see him setting out like week 1 like Chris Jones did. And then they're like, okay, boom, we'll give you X amount of money for this one season. He's not happy because he would love to sign a long-term deal now because you never know what's going to happen. What if he has a down season? What if he gets injured, at his age, which is why they don't want to give him, 3 more years and 4 years total or whatever he's probably wanting. I understand both sides of it. But I just think that may be the resolution to this is, hey, we're going to give you more money for this year. If you go, then we'll talk after the season when you hit free agency, because then at least he's a free agent. As long as they don't put the franchise tag on him, which if I was him, I'd be like, can I take your word you won't do that?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
I don't know if I would if I was him.
I don't think he's real big on their word right now, because he said that, when he signed this extension, that the whole thing was that they promised him they were going to pay him after it was over.
Well, and like after he got 17 and a half sacks the one season, he decided, I'm going to play out this next season. I think they had told him, you play this one out, and we will,
What if they just said,
and he had 17 and a half again.
What if they said, okay, Trey, we'll extend you for the 3 years that you want, for the $32 million you want, but you have to hit 15 sacks a year, 14 sacks a year for your contract.
What about this?
Put markers in there.
Chop. Let's add on to that. Let's throw in a couple of chopped cheese sandwiches, right?
Yeah, a couple chopped cheese sandwiches.
Yeah.
It's Ted Karras a sandwich, but Trey'd probably like it too.
Yeah, Greg will even give you a massage.
Yeah, Greg will rub your feet.
Yeah.
He'll pick you up at the airport if needed.
Sure will.
When you come back into town.
My car is a little messy and all that. When you eat in your car, my floor seat's covered with stuff, but I can get it cleaned up in detail.
Not only that, but Greg will have you a 6-pack of Dillinators when he picks you up from the airport to eat on the way to your hotel.
Yes, I would.
There you go.
I got everything covered. I got a hybrid car. I got plenty of gas. I'm good to go.
And the car doesn't take much gas either.
No, the most I've had to fill up was 11 gallons when I was empty, almost.
Yeah. Greg is rarely empty on gas.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at with Trey. It's a little bit of news. It's a little bit of optimism. And I mean, whatever, at this point, we'll take it. All we've heard about is Shamar Stewart, honestly, the past couple weeks. And hopefully that gets done too, because I don't think that's good for anybody. He needs the development. And
yes,
the Bengals don't want to burn a first-round pick if this drags into the season. He just decides to re-enter the draft. He's not getting the same amount of money. That would all be terrible, but I won't spend too much time talking about that. But, yeah, so we talked about Trey. If you tuned in late, you want to go back and watch that, that's at the beginning of the show. Now we're going to do something a little different because we got to find something to talk about, right? There's just not a lot of Bengals news right now. And right now, they're not even practicing. They're on their little summer break here before they come back for training camp. But hopefully something gets done with Trey. That's where we're at with it. But
yeah.
What kind of chair maker we got today, Chop?
I got to go over there. Where is that fucker? Oh, yeah. Wide receiver duos, man. This is all the teams in the NFL. It's their wide receiver duos.
Are we assuming these are up to date, hopefully? I don't know.
I did, but who's the San Francisco one? That's not Debo, right?
God, these are always. Why are they always so damn hard to see? I think the
never
one guy
mind.
is like
Debo's down here with the Commanders.
Yes, and Terry McLaurin. So that I'm guessing that's what's the other guy's name?
Oh, it starts with an A, right?
So it's probably Brandon Ayuk and Juwan Jennings.
There you go.
Who is like their other receiver.
Look, the tier maker. Look, somebody's already labeled it. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins at the top. Weird.
It's crazy how that works, huh?
Yeah. I mean, we might as well just put them up there, right?
Yep, let's just do it.
There you go.
In our opinion, and it is biased, but even if it wasn't biased, you'd have a hard time. The guy who won the Triple Crown plus T. Higgins, who can catch everything. It's just a matter of when he's on the field and healthy. He's had a lot of hamstring issues, but uber talented duo. To me, I mean, they're the best in the league. And there's some other good ones, but they're not Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, who either one can take games over.
Yep.
Who do you think is the shittiest ones?
Let's go to Tennessee.
Where's Tennessee?
I don't know. Let's try to go in order. So we got Brandon Ayuk and Juwan Jennings. They also have Ricky Pearsall, who they drafted a year before in the first round. Right. He got shot, but then he's still back playing, But Pearsall, it's duos. So not three of them. It's Juwan Jennings, Brandon Ayuk. I think that's a decent. Like Juwan Jennings has been a solid player.
Right, they're good blockers. They're both good blockers.
I don't know that it's like uber elite. Yeah, I think Matt is a good place to start with these guys for now.
Yeah.
And we'll see. But I mean, Brandon Ayuk, was he hurt a lot last year? Like, I think
remember
he was really good.
He was making that push for the contract, and then when he got it, he was hurt.
Yeah. So I think, he's obviously, if he gets back in form, and Juwan Jennings has been solid for them, but as of right now, we're going to put it in the meh category.
Yeah. And then we got
it looks like the Bears. Yeah. And, who's the other guy? Gosh, I'm blanking on his name.
Not DJ Moore, is it?
That's my guess. Yeah, Moore.
Yeah.
Roma Dunze and DJ.
Well, Roma Dunze, yeah, and what about wait? Who's the guy that left the Chargers? Williams? Or no. Keenan Allen, right?
Yeah, he is no longer on there. They did draft Luther Burden. But I would imagine it's DJ Moore and Roma Dunze, and then Burden's kind of the third guy,
All right.
and their slot receiver.
They're like what, meh?
I don't know. I feel like that's a pretty good tandem.
I think it's like probably bottom of good, maybe.
Yeah, that's fine.
If only they didn't have Caleb Williams holding them back.
I liked Rome coming out of the draft, and he was like a 10th overall pick. And I think this year we'll see. This is one of those we're putting it in good, but it's close to meh as of right now.
Yeah.
But I think it has a chance to be a lot better this year, with Rome going into a second season. And no Keenan Allen there. He's going to get more opportunities.
And especially now they got Tooney up there. They revamped that line for Caleb Williams.
And then Buffalo,
it's Keon Coleman.
I'm guessing Khalil Shakir. I know they picked up Joshua Palmer as well in free agency, paid him decent amount of money. He's more of a deep threat, but Shakir is probably, arguably was their best receiver last year. So I'm going to assume that's Khalil Shakir. And even if it's not, this is the duos that we're putting. So the ones we say, even if it's not the person shown.
Yeah, right.
That's how we're ranking it. So Khalil Shakir and Keon Coleman. Keon's very unproven to me still, kind of like Rome is.
Yeah.
Shakir's pretty good, but I don't know that he's been as good as DJ Moore, but I think he's probably close, especially now in this season. I think he'd be close. So I just feel like they got to be right there with the Bears. And honestly, maybe we knock both of these down to meh. It just depends as we go on this and we look at some more of these duos and what we think.
Let me tell you something, though. The reason I have a hard time with meh is because of Josh Allen. He got the MVP last year, and he's got to have people catching the ball to get that. Right? So you got to have decent receivers if you're going to get the MVP.
I guess.
You got to be decent, right?
I mean, they got a couple tight ends. They've got some running backs. So I don't feel like, everything revolves around their receivers.
Yeah.
As much as it does in Cincinnati would be the difference,
Yeah.
Who we got next? Denver. So Cortland Sutton, and I'm guessing maybe Marvin Mims Jr. I know they drafted Pat Bryant.
$5 from Dustin right here. I was disappointed in Rome last year. He didn't get much separation playing those Pac-12 defenses, catfishing Jack in Arizona going wide receiver filthy.
Yeah. And that's fair. That's why I almost feel like we need to knock down, because I can't say they're good. I don't know how good they are. I think both of those, Buffalo and Chicago, we knocked down to meh.
Yeah.
They don't super excite me. I mean, they're young, right? They've got young guys that are unproven. So go prove it before we put you in a higher category, I think.
Oh, yeah. You can see down here, a lot of these include rookies.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe this is Pat Bryant, but he's not. And they have Troy Franklin they drafted. But I'm looking at their depth chart, and it says Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims Jr., who hasn't really got a chance to play a whole lot, and Devon Vele, V-E-L-E, who I just not too familiar with. I think he had a decent season last year, but I don't think it was anything spectacular. But I know Cortland Sutton is pretty good.
Yeah.
I really do feel like Pat Bryant's going to be their next best receiver.
So
I like Pat Bryant.
This is Pat Bryant.
That's what we're saying. Regardless,
Cortland Sutton. Yeah.
And that's a pretty good duo with really good size. And I think that team is definitely on the come up. I'm going to say good, and that's more for Cortland Sutton. I mean, whether it's Mims or Bryant, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to say meh. I don't know. The top of meh. None of these are exciting me. I mean, maybe this is the bias where the Bengals have Chase and Higgins, We'll see.
I know.
We'll see.
We're going to get some that are great and good.
Yeah. Cleveland, next one, what was it? Judy and
Cedric Tillman. They also brought in Deontay Johnson, but Deontay Johnson hasn't done anything for a season or two. He's bounced around from team to team.
Yeah.
So what do you got?
Yikes.
I mean,
man.
Yikes. I'm going to say yikes. I'm not a Judy guy. I know he played pretty decent last year, but I don't think that's a good wide receiver situation because I don't think Judy should be your wide receiver 1, and I don't think Cedric Tillman's a wide receiver 2. So to me, that's not very good.
Think you got 2 3s out there playing the 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Probably.
The next two guys, you could definitely argue are at least correct. They could be in the great section. You have what's his name and what's his name?
Evans and Goodwin.
Evans and Goodwin. They're great. You could argue they're great.
You have what's his name and what's his name.
What's his name?
You come here for the hard-hitting analysis of they have what's his name and what's his name.
Greg's like, these guys are so good. It's what's his name and what's his name.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm just waking up.
See, I like their wide receiver core overall because they have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Emeka Egbuka they drafted. And then they also have Jalen McMillan they drafted last year that I thought, that we were going to take instead of Burton. And he was pretty good last year. So they've really got quite a bit of depth there. But I'm assuming Evans and Godwin are the 2 listed there.
Right.
And I think that's fair. They've been kind of their 2 top guys for a while. The other are young and unproven. Definitely good. Borderline great because Mike Evans is just Mr. Consistent. But I think the reason it's not in the great and it's in the good is because Godwin was hurt most of last year. So we're going to bump it down because this is the recency bias from just last year. So if we're kind of, how are they right now? We're basing that on last year more than anything else. So we're going to say good. They're still good. And they could be great, but I think good. And they're also both getting a little older.
Right.
Yeah.
Next one you have Marvin Harrison and what's his name?
What's his name?
So they have Zay Jones. They have Michael Wilson. I don't know which one that is. Either way, neither of those excite me much.
That's May at the very luckiest.
That's being generous with.
Is that a yikes?
We're gonna put it in meh because I think, but it like Marvin, he was good, but he's dinged up some. I think he's gonna have a great year, but I think I would feel a lot better if they had another guy there. You know what I mean? Had they brought in like a who went to the Rams, Devontae Adams. Had they brought in like a Devontae Adams to pair with Harrison, I'd been like, okay, that's a little something, and maybe even Cooper Kupp. I know he's been hurt a lot, but I don't know, just something.
They should have took Tet McMillan in the first round this year. Buckers.
Yeah, he was gone by their pick, and they took our guy, Walter Nolan.
I know.
They should have taken Emeka Egbuka, actually.
They should have took anybody but Walter Nolan.
It's true. It's true. And the Chargers, we got the honky, Lad McConkey.
McHonky.
And Williams.
They have Quentin Johnston and Mike Williams. So who? I don't know which one they put there.
I don't know. He's wearing a red shirt, so does that matter? Who came from the red jersey?
They're doing there. They also drafted Trey Harris, who I think is going to be pretty good. But Quentin Johnston, they had they drafted him in like the first round. He has certainly not lived up to that. Mike Williams being back, I think, will be good for them. But he was very subpar last year. Bounced around, played different places. Wasn't he with Pittsburgh there at the end? And Didn't do much.
I
He's
don't
in New
remember.
York and then Pittsburgh. So I don't know. I think Glad McConkey is good.
Yeah.
But I think the second is still a little unproven. That's probably Trey Harris, honestly. It's probably Trey Harris in his Ole Miss jersey.
Oh, yeah.
That's my guess. So if we're saying it's Trey Harris, who I don't know that he'll start over Mike Williams or Quentin Johnston, to be fair. But I do think he's their second most talented, but completely unproven. Ladd was very good. I really like Trey Harris coming out of the draft. I think they'll be good, but if we're ranking it right now,
Top of man?
Yeah, it's just man. There's a lot of meh here because there's a lot of unproven, So I don't want to say like, oh, they're bad because McConkey was really good.
Yes, he is. Like if they put a good pair with him, they got a good chance, man.
Yeah, Trey Harris had almost 1,000 yards and he only played in like 4 or 5 games before he got hurt. He was killing it, and he's great. Just get the ball in his hands. He's strong, tough to bring down, good after the catch. Not the fastest guy, but I think they'll end up being good. It's just when you put a rookie on there right now, it's tough to rank that.
Exactly.
Greg's favorite team, Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah,
and I'm guessing Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice.
Yep.
And Rashee, is he getting suspended? I don't think we have any clue.
He's good. They're good.
I got to say they're good because Worthy was pretty good. And when you do have Mahomes, but yeah, they're good because Rashee Rice is really good with just the off-field stuff. And will he play? And then he was injured. Right. So I almost want to say more meh based on last year, but we'll put him in good. We'll just,
Well, we got him at the back of good.
Yeah. And we have the Colts next. So I know that Michael Pittman is at Josh Downs. I
guess.
I don't know who their other one besides Michael.
Are they man?
Well, they have Josh Downs and they have Alec Pierce. And that looks like a white boy.
No,
Alec
neither
Pierce
one of them are Alec Pierce.
No. I mean, they're man, right?
They drafted Adonai Mitchell from Texas in the last draft, not this past one, but I don't think he played very much, so I don't think it'd be him. I'm sure it's Josh Downs, who's okay, and Michael Pittman's okay.
Are they meh?
I think Michael Pittman's good, but he didn't have the greatest season last year. So I say meh. Like they just are. Like almost all these are just meh.
Now the next one could be great, Chop. Chop, you might vouch for this too. With Debo and Terry McLaurin, that you can argue for great.
I mean, you're basing my vote off the guy that's throwing him the ball, though.
Right.
I think that I don't know. I think Debo's suspect, man. He hasn't done much recently.
Yeah, you're basically going back to 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But Terry's been great.
Yes,
he's wanting a new contract.
Yeah.
That's still out there. Man, I don't know. Debo, I like Debo, but if you're just basing it on last year, he was hurt and he didn't do much anything.
No, if you want to put him in good, that's fine, but I thought you could make an argument for great somewhat.
Yeah, they definitely can't go above good to me.
Okay.
Just because Debo is, we don't know.
Right. No,
this is one, though, I feel like you're probably right, though, Greg, that we could be 3 or 4 weeks into the season, redo this and go, oh, they're in the great category.
Oh, yeah.
Because if Debo's playing well, Jaden's not having a sophomore slump, there's a good chance these two guys are balling out.
Now, next one's interesting. You have a CD and Mickens.
George Pickens.
They could get great. They could be great. They could be great, but
I say they probably will be great.
Yeah.
I got to put great just because we at least know George Pickens was the Steelers' number one. CeeDee Lamb's been the number one. He's a great receiver. Pickens is at least good. He's fucking crazy.
It's his head. It's the head case,
Yes.
Otherwise, he'd be great.
But talent-wise and everything else, man, I got to say that's a great duo. Now, Dak Prescott, will he, be able to get them the ball? We'll see. But I think it's
next one, Tyreek and Waddle. I mean, at one point they were up there neck and neck with Chase and Higgins.
Neck, but they were right behind him.
They were right behind him. Yeah, they were right behind him. I should say right behind. But still, are they great? Are they great, or are they good? Or are they great, Dale? That's the question.
I feel like maybe Tyreek Hill is on the decline of his career. And if you base it on last year, he wasn't very good. Killed me in fucking having him on fantasy.
Yeah.
So it hits home for me. But I still would put him in great. Because, I mean, you're just looking at the talent and what they've accomplished together, too, already. We'll put them in great. That's a great duo. A lot better than a lot of these others.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the next one, you can't put them in Jamar T. Higgins, but, they're at the top of great. A.J. Brown,
yeah,
Smith.
I would agree. The Eagles, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. And, honestly, if it wasn't titled Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, I would probably have them in the same category just below them. Like, I do think they're both terrific wide receivers.
Yep, I agree, but that's not the way the categories are set up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Chop's controlling it, and it's Chop's rules, and
that's
what
right.
Daddy Chop, Papa mouse. Chop says goes.
So I have the mouse.
Now, the next one, you have Drake London and what's his name?
Is it Darnell Mooney or Ray McLeod? Because that's their other starters.
Well, that has to be Matt, right? Because has London really lived up to his potential?
He's
didn't he turn it on last year with Peanuts?
Yeah. He was pretty good. He was pretty.
I still think, but the other one, Matt, it has to be in the Matt section, right?
Yeah, I would agree. Darnell Mooney. I mean, he's decent. He came from Chicago, and I feel like he had a pretty good season for Atlanta last year.
Yeah,
but because I'm putting him over Ray McLeod. I'm just saying. But yeah, that's another team that they could use another wide receiver. You know what I mean? I would have thought they might have drafted somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, Dustin. Tampa's wide receiver core is insane. Like, if we were doing overall, I would put that wide receiver core in great. And they're so close to being in the great. It's literally just Godwin was hurt most of last year.
Right.
I know. It's very close. I don't disagree. That one could be in the great, and we'll see. We may have to bump that one.
You talking about Tampa Bay still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next one, you have Neighbors, and who the heck? And is it Shepard and Neighbors?
I'm guessing Sterling Shepard, or is he even still there? Who is?
I don't even know.
Hold on, I'll look.
Darius
Slayton. Yeah, because Shepard's long gone. So Darius Slayton, and then they also have Wan'Dale Robinson, but I would guess that's probably Slayton. He's been a little more consistent than Robinson in the NFL.
They don't have a quarterback. Neighbors is on the path to greatness. We can all.
We don't know. We don't know. They got a lot of. They've got Russell Wilson. They've got Jackson Dart. They're banking on Jackson Dart. They traded back in the first to get him. I don't know. I don't know if I love that. I don't know how good he'll be, but Malik Neighbors had a great season. And I know it was only 1 year and he was a rookie, but I feel like his rookie season at wide receiver when he was on the field was better than anyone else's. Maybe outside of Brian Thomas, who's in the next group with the Jaguars. Slayton is he's okay. He's not bad. And I think Neighbors getting better. I'm fine with putting them at the bottom of good, honestly.
All right.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. And it's the quarterback play, but I also feel like Dart is a lot like Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Hey, we got another LSU wide receiver, Chubb. After this one, you have Brian Thomas and what's his name?
Is it Travis Hunter that they put on there?
Yeah, Travis Hunter.
Do we even know if he's going to play?
Right.
We don't even know. Like, the rookies should be like, what? Who fuck knows? Like, Brian Thomas is good, and he was awesome last year. But, and I'm just kidding about the what, but like, I mean, what are they going to be?
Yeah, it's still very unknown, but man, Brian Thomas was great last year. Yeah, we'll put him at the bottom of good for now, just because I think talent-wise, they're very talented, but I am still a strong believer that Travis Hunter should stick to playing corner and only play wide receiver a limited amount of snaps. Which kind of makes it tough to say duo if he's not playing a full workload at wide receiver.
Yeah, if he's in there for like 10 plays a game at wide receiver.
Yeah, that's a tough one to rank. We'll put it in the bottom of good, and that's just based off of talent of those two guys.
Yeah.
Brian Thomas was fantastic last season. And
yes, he was.
I mean, speed, height, catch everything you want in a wide receiver.
If it weren't for Jaden Daniels, he would have been Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Man, poor Garrett Wilson, right?
Yes.
It's like Garrett Wilson. They have Josh Reynolds. Remember that name? He's listed as a starter there. Alan Lazard, who basically was brought in for Aaron Rodgers, who is no longer there. Malachi Corley, who didn't really do much of anything last year. Tyler Johnson, Arian Smith from Georgia, who he's very fast, but he can't catch the ball, which is kind of important for a wide receiver.
Is this a what?
Man, I love Garrett Wilson, though. I think he's a top 10
Ohio
receiver in the
State.
NFL. Garrett Wilson is a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL.
Dale, stop it.
I take Garrett Wilson in my fantasy almost every year.
Is he so you want to put him at May then, or?
Yeah. You can put him even behind Marvin Harrison. If we got Michael fucking Wilson in there with Marvin Harrison, I think we got to put Garrett Wilson, who's done more.
Because that's another Ohio State. Hey, Ohio State, if you play for Ohio State, you're not going to be in a what?
Greg, we only have one duo in the yikes category, and that's the Browns. I mean, maybe we need to adjust
Terry
this
McLaurin's up and good, and he played for Ohio State, didn't he?
Yeah.
Stop accusing me of being a homer.
A homer? Just kidding, Dale. All right, next to the Lions, you have Amon St. Brown and what's his name?
I'm guessing Jamison Williams.
Oh, they're good. Was that good?
Also went to the Ohio State. I can't help it. Ohio State has so many good receivers. But
he's in the great now.
He ended up finishing at Alabama. So, it's kind of like one of those things where he was at Ohio State. He went to school at Ohio State, kind of like Joe Burrow. I mean, he did play some, but he played football at Alabama. Amon-Ra St. Brown is the best slot receiver in the game, and Williams, when he plays, is electric and a speedster that can make plays from anywhere. You just get the ball in his hands. So I would say this is at least a good duo, at minimum, good.
Well, I'll put him at the top.
I would still put Mike Evans. And
I was going to say
Evans is Mr. Consistent. And Godwin was really good, too. He's just coming off an injury.
Right. The good ones it's hard to get the good ones like in order.
Green Bay's a tough one. Because I'm guessing that's Jaden Reed, who's, like a slot wide receiver. They got a bunch of 2s and 3s, but then they drafted Matthew Golden. And I really like Matthew Golden. That's who the other guy is there from Texas.
Right, that's what I was going to say.
And I like him. Is he a true dominant number one? He almost feels like another really good number 2, which is what they have a bunch of. Oh, it's tough. It's tough for me because I like Matthew Golden, but I would have liked if he went somewhere that already had a number 1. Like had Matthew Golden gone to the Cowboys with CD Lamb.
Oh, yeah.
I would love that duo. You know what I mean?
Right.
But Matthew Golden is basically coming in being asked to be the number 1 receiver, or he's just another number 2. I'm going to say yikes, but above the Browns. But I could go meh. It's just Golden is going to be a rookie, and if he's their number 1, I don't know what he's going to. I don't know, because I just think his game is built to be a number 2. Also,
yeah.
Unlike the next rookie, Tet McMillan, I can at least bump him up a little bit because size, speed, everything that he has. I think he's a wide receiver 1, and Carolina badly needed that. And I'm guessing this is country boy Xavier Legette, who they drafted in the first round.
I liked Legette coming out of the draft, but they picked him way too high. I was a big fan of Legette. I mean, is this a top of the mat potential good?
I wouldn't say top. I'd say bottom of meh, just because Tet is still a rookie, and Legette didn't have a very good season. But talent-wise and youth-wise, they could be on the rise. So I don't want to put them in yikes because I think there's a lot of talent there. We're really not shitting on any of these duos, right? You're in the NFL, right? Your number 1s and number 2s in the NFL. You're probably not terrible. To be fair.
Number 2.
Well, I know Diggs is now in New England. But who else do they have? Mac Hollins, because that's not him. because he's coming from Buffalo. And Pop Douglas, Demario Douglas, I'm guessing that's him. So Pop Douglas. They also have Keyshawn Butte, Kendrick Bourne. They drafted Kyle Williams. So I don't know if that's a college guy, but I
feel like this is yikes.
What? It's just a what?
It's either a what or a yikes. Like Stephon Diggs is at the back end of his career, and he's like, he's
doing
not right
drugs
in
on
the head.
boats or doing some substance on boats. Don't want to say it's drugs. Not
there you go. Or at least
Don't
he's
wanna be
handing it to other folks to do.
He had some exotic candy on the boat.
Yes, he did.
Allegedly of some
Right,
kind.
powdered sugar. Some powdered
Yeah,
sugar.
I'm gonna say yikes as well, and I'm fine putting it at the bottom of yikes. Because Diggs, I mean, still and was a talented wide receiver. Maybe there's still something left in the tank. And Pop Douglas isn't bad either. I think Drake May will have a good season. I just don't know how good these wide receivers are for the
Bengals broke Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
They broke him at that playoff game when he was yelling at Josh Allen, and he got traded to the Texans.
And this is tough because that's not even Jack Besh in there. So I'm guessing it's Jacoby Myers and Trey Tucker, who went to UC. So you know more about Trey Tucker than I'm going to
be like,
do.
yeah, or what, or
no, that's a what? That's a what?
That's
the Raiders are a what?
Yeah, it's yikes, but what? Like what? Yikes! Yeah. That's all in that. If you're in the bottom two categories, it's not ideal, and that's maybe Green Bay shouldn't be, but
Brock Bowers should be in there.
Right, exactly. If Brock Bowers in there, this would be a man. The next one, though, Puka and Devontae Adams. Is that a good? That's got to be a bottom of the good, at least, right?
Yeah, and I don't know how good Devontae still is.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't think he's as dominant as he once was.
But he's your number two.
Puka has been a top 5 wide receiver. I mean, at least stats wise, these last couple seasons. And I think Devontae, I think he'll do pretty good there. I think he'll be good for them. But basing it off of last year, he wasn't great, but he was still good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but remember, Devontae's your number 2. For number 2, that's a pretty good deal right there. Yeah. Then the Ravens, you have Flowers
and what's his name?
Well, is it Rashad Bateman who they gave the extension to?
Yes.
Or
is
it? It's because it's not DeAndre Hopkins.
No.
It is. The first one's.
Oh, it is.
The first guy's DeAndre.
No, the first one is Zay Flowers.
I can't tell, honestly.
First one's Zay Flowers.
Well, we know Zay Flowers. I mean, even if it is, whether it's Hopkins or Bateman, and listen, no disrespect to the career Hopkins has had, because he's had a great career.
Right.
But he's not near the same receiver he used to be when he was in Houston. One of the best in the game.
Same as Devontae Adams.
And Rashad Bateman is so-so. Zay Flowers, I would say, is good.
Yeah.
But with Hopkins or Bateman, I don't care, because we said, we'd put whoever in that we thought was the top 2. Either way, I think that's meh. I think it's got to be
put him at the top of meh because I don't want to create bad juju.
That's fine.
Where it comes back to bite us in the ass.
Then Olave, who's the guy for the? I'm blanking on his name. He was Shaheed, right? They have Brandon Cooks too.
Well, hey, Ohio State guy Olave, man, he's probably at the top.
But I feel like he's a concussion away from being out of the NFL.
Right.
He was hurt a lot last season and couldn't play a lot. So, talent-wise, he's talented, and he was good. But it's tough for me. I would say this is it, and I like Rashid Shaheed, sweet name by the way.
Hey, yeah,
he was good. I almost feel yikes, and it's partially because Chris Olave and his injuries and concussion history. I just think.
What if there's no injuries?
It's not a good situation.
If we know that the season's going to be injury-free, what do you think?
They'd probably be up in meh. You know what I mean? I wouldn't put them. They would just be up maybe in the meh instead of yikes category here. Seattle. So you got Cooper Kupp where he's at now, and Jackson Smith
another
and
Ohio State guy.
Ibuka.
Hey, I just put one in yikes, so y'all got back off now.
Right.
No, Dale. This is a great one, right? I mean, I
Triple
know
Crown winner from 3 years ago.
Right. But Cup is your second receiver. I mean, is it Matt or good?
This is going to be good or great. I
definitely am not putting him near great. I don't think I'd put it in good.
Let's put him in good.
You don't think so?
I think I'd put him in good. Smith and Jigba has been close to good, right? But, I mean, they lost Tyler Lockett. They lost DK Metcalf. They're expecting, I think, Smith and Jigba to be better this year. Cooper Kupp, I feel like, is on the decline as well. But out of respect for his career, maybe going somewhere else, I won't put this in yikes. See, I'm closer to putting it in yikes than good. I think meh for me.
Yeah.
Personally. Now you got the Steelers, DK Metcalf and insert guy, because they've got a bunch of, I don't know what, as that's going to be competing for their number 2 spot.
This one looks like maybe it's that, who's the guy from Michigan they drafted last year?
Roman Wilson.
It's not Roman Wilson. It's Calvin Austin, who they've said is their number 2. Their wide receiver coach said this the other day, and they also have Robert Woods, who's kind of bounced around, I think, most recently with Houston.
I mean, it's definitely Matt because you have Metcalf, but is it good?
No, because Calvin Austin hasn't done very much at all. So we'll say meh just because of Metcalf, but they got to find a number 2. And, had they kept Pickens, it would have been the most – I might have had to put it in good, but I'd have been like, good with a chance to be
great.
What the hell is going on by week 2, especially if you had it with Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
All right.
Then we got the Texans.
All right.
This one's interesting. You have Tank and you have
Nico.
Yeah.
Well, isn't it Tank? Because Tank can't even play this season.
Right. He can't.
They drafted the Iowa State guys. So they drafted
he ain't
Jalen
in
Noel.
here.
I know, but that's what I'm like. I'm like, what is that collar there?
Looks like a guy from the Panthers.
So Christian Kirk, that's who it is, from the Jaguars. From the Jags. Yep. So that's Christian Kirk and Nico Collins. But I think personally, Jaden Higgins from Iowa State, they got him and Jalen Noel. And I like both of those wide receivers. That, like, overall, their wide receiver core has a chance to be really, really good. But Christian Kirk has not been very good. He certainly didn't live up to $80 million contract the Jaguars gave him 2 or 3 years ago. That's for sure.
No,
Nico Collins is very good. This is an interesting one. What's the chat think on this one? We only got a few left, but what do you guys think? And then what's the chat think? While we're
I don't know what to think about this one, man.
I think this one's probably like Pikes almost. Or I mean, like you said, their rookies come out and play really good, but as far as these two,
it's just unknown.
I mean,
with the
Christian
rookies.
Kirk was so good for the Jags, they replaced him with a fucking corner.
Yeah. That's the thing. If I believed in Christian Kirk, and I loved him coming out of the draft, to be fair. I think he was like my receiver 1 that year. So you talk about misses. So that was another one of mine. And he's had some good seasons, but he's never been the player I thought he could be.
What money he got paid per? He got paid great money-wise.
Yeah, he did make money. But yeah, I think Jaden Higgins, Nico Collins, and Jalen Noel, and they still have John Mechie too. Like, Tank Dell's not going to play this season, but they have, if this is also like Tampa, I would bump them up even higher if I was ranking their entire wide receiver depth chart,
Yeah.
But
so where do you put these two?
So Matt says medium and meh. Yeah, I think it's meh, just because, Christian Kirk I don't have a lot of faith in. So.
Right.
And who do we got next?
The Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Calvin Ridley and
Tyler Lockett.
That's a meh. If this was 5 years ago, you could say this was great, but I don't know.
Man, I don't even think it's meh. Yeah, I think yikes, man. They've and I like Lockett, so he may help them, but they need. I mean, they did. And honestly, they brought in young guys, so they got Elake, Iomanner, Chimere, DK, and Xavier Restrepo as an undrafted free agent. those three guys, I think, to me, have chances to earn a lot of playing time this season. Because I don't think Tennessee will ball out. And you might as well get those young guys in there and see if you got anything in any of those three. Because Van Jefferson, Calvin Ridley, and Tyler Lockett. Yeah. Ridley is okay, and Lockett is okay. But it's meh
now,
at best. But we're going with yikes. Just because I don't want that as my duo.
The last one, though, this is in the great section at the very least. I mean, you have Addison. Addison tore it up last year as number 2, and Jefferson, number 2 behind Chase. This is in the great section. I've almost put him in. I put him in front of Pickens, and yes, Chop, that's perfect where it is. So.
And that's mostly because Justin Jefferson's one of the best in the game. Yes. Addison still has a little bit to prove, but Addison is very good on his own, and that's a good combo there. So
yes,
all right, should we move the Buccaneers up? We'll ask the chat, now that we've got everything up here about moving some of these around.
Anybody in the chat has one move that they would make.
One move in the chat, everybody.
Yeah, what's your one move that you would make? And we're not going to move it more than one category from where it's at. If it's
we're not going to go. We're not taking the Raiders
or yikes. It can go up or down.
Move Tampa. Matt says move Tampa up.
I'm good with that because I kind of felt that way anyway. So, yeah.
All right.
That's testament to Mike Evans. And honestly, Godwin, and even if you replace Godwin and you say Emeka Egbuka and Mike Evans would be a hell of a tandem too. So it's a rookie. So we moved Tampa up. There's not too many others. I think the Lions are fringe great, but we got them at the top of good, so I'm kind of okay with that as well. I still wonder if we had the Giants too high because of Darius Slayton.
Right.
But I don't know. And the Jaguars are a little unknown, but I do think that's a lot of talent. And the Rams, I'm good with the Rams there. We got a lot of meh. There's a lot of meh.
There's a lot of meh.
But that means that those can go up to good pretty easily, or they can go down to yikes real quick. And that's kind of how the NFL works year to year. So, all right.
And I don't see any other changes.
No one has anything to say about changes, so we must have crushed it. We did great.
We did. I believe so.
Hey, you missed it Friday, Chris. Sorry, buddy.
We made this our bitch.
We did.
Yeah,
so to recap for the podcast listeners, the top category, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And we put Jamar Chase and T. Higgins in Jamar Chase and T. Higgins top category.
Yeah, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins landed in the Jamar Chase and T. Higgins category.
It's the best wide receiver duo in the NFL. To me, it's not even a question. It's not even a question. They just are. The second best down in the great category, we've got the Eagles duo, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. Those guys are fantastic. The Vikings next in the great, Cowboys, Dolphins, Tampa. I think those are all good choices. And then the good, this last one I'll talk about because everything else is meh, yikes, or what. Good. We got the Lions, the Chiefs. I almost said the Redskins. It's inappropriate. The ex-Redskins.
You actually did.
I know. I said it. And then I said it again. I doubled down.
Yeah, no.
The New York Giants. And this one was tough because we put it in good, but that's just a testament to Malik Neighbors. And I think Darius Slayton, he's solid. Wan'Dale Robinson, I think, could be good for them. Jaguars. Brian Thomas was spectacular. And Travis Hunter's talented. I just don't know how much he'll be playing at wide receiver. So that's another tough one to rank. But talent-wise, we put him in good. And then the Rams with Devontae and Puka, I think, have a chance to be pretty good. The Chiefs is a tough one because we don't know if Rasheed Rice will play. Xavier Worthy, will he hold up for a whole season? Because I still worry about those guys that are, undersized like that. Tank Dell, look at him, man. It's
Hollywood Brown's still the number 3, right? He's
still in that mix too on their team. So, but yeah, fun show. I think that was a good tier maker to rank. We try to keep it NFL related. Sometimes we got to do some fun ones,
right? But
we wanted to. It's Monday.
Maybe we'll Trey
if you missed the Trey Hendrickson talk, that was the first 15-20 minutes of the show. So go back.
Very informative.
Yeah, there's just, not a lot with that. We hope this helps push toward a deal, but it's just like some optimism.
Right.
That's not much of an update.
Yeah, we just recapped the first 15 minutes. Some optimism.
Yeah, basically. And I said I just think they'll add money to his deal. So that's the recap, basically. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
But,
I don't care. I want Trey on the field. The Shamar thing is just fucking, it's that goddamn little that little rock that's at the back of your shoe that you can't untie your shoe. You got to keep on going and walking with that rock in your shoe that's bothering the piss out of you. That's the Shamar Stewart deal to me.
He's a pebble in your shoe.
It's a fucking sharp ass pebble though, man.
Really annoying one.
I am not on the player's side as far as the Shamar Stewart one goes. And I'm pretty critical of the Bengals, I feel like. I got a fucking shirt
too.
as Mike Brown is a clown, in my shop. But this one, I mean, I understand that the Bengals are just trying to put in language that other teams have that they've never had it, and so they're trying to insert it. And I do understand where Shamar's like, why do I got to be the guinea pig? Because we said so, bitch. Welcome to the fucking NFL.
We're still giving you a bunch of money.
We're
giving you
fucking million. We're not giving you anything that pick number 16 and pick number 18 didn't fucking get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're not taking things from you they didn't get. We're not giving you things they didn't get. It's the same. Fall in fucking line. You're a rookie. Get your goddamn money. Your contract's guaranteed. And get on the
I try to be
field.
always somewhere in the middle. And with this one, I was like thinking it's just the Bengals doing some stupid shit when he heard language that's not in other contracts, right? So I'm thinking, fucking Bengals again. Just that was more of how I felt, trying to see both sides and thinking, just get it done. Come on, Bengals. This isn't worth this headache. But then as you hear more of how common language this is in a lot of contracts, just the Bengals behind the times again,
right.
Not already having this in these other ones is honestly the Bengals' fault. But everyone else does it, and it's a common thing to have in there, and they're just trying to put something that's common that all these other guys have. If you went somewhere else, they would have been asking you to sign the same thing. So sign the fucking thing because you need the fucking practice.
Yes.
You need the development. And I just want you to practice. You need to be out there practicing. Just sign it. I'm not going to say
our
it's
first pick
frustrating
in
that
the
he's not
draft
practicing
is
it.
completely not helping our team. It's hurting our team right now. Our first pick in the draft is literally hurting our team right now. He's the only rookie that's not practicing. He is not the only rookie not signed. The entire second round is not signed, but they're practicing.
Yeah. Yep.
That's it. I don't, the previous 2 years, the Bengals tried to insert this also into the contract, but they didn't have fucking loudmouths, Miles Murphy and Amarius Mims out there talking to the media saying the team doesn't give a shit about winning games, publicly. This guy says it publicly, and who the fuck knows? If I'm the Bengals right now, I'm pissed off, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. This is what, this is the year. They've been trying to get it in, and the previous two guys didn't run their fucking mouth, and then in the end, they didn't get that clause in their contract. This one, he run his mouth, and so just me as a parent, I'm like, fuck it. It's in there for you. Sign or re-enter the draft, bitch. And I hope Shamar Stewart, the fact is he's going to be a Bengal. And so I hope he has a great fucking career here.
Yeah.
But let's fucking go. Let's get it started.
Just get it done. Yeah, just get it done. Because at the end of the day, we know what's going to happen. Yeah. It's going to get signed because it would be stupid for both sides. You're going to walk away and re-enter the draft and lose out on all this money of being pick 17.
Right.
Yeah.
Dumb. Bengals, you're going to take your first round draft capital pick that you just made, light it on fire, and say, well, that's gone. Dumb.
So, and also, and most importantly, I'm losing. If he doesn't play, then I lose $20 to Santori. He's not going to get my 7 sacks that I need.
Yeah, the $20, Shamar.
Yeah, come on,
do
Shamar.
it for Greg's $20.
Yes,
on, he had faith in you.
Yeah,
exactly. Come on, Stewart.
But yeah, appreciate everybody tuning in. It's a good, fun show. We actually talked a lot of football. That's probably the most football we've talked for an entire show in quite a while because It's tough, man. It's tough. And we don't want to come on here and talk about Trey and Shamar every time. I understand the frustration.
Right.
Like, I'm sick of hearing about that. But that's the only update was the Trey thing, number one. So we wanted to at least talk about it, mention it, set it as the show. We obviously ranked wide receiver duos. And then Shamar here at the end just talked a few minutes about it because I do think that narrative has changed because it's so common in other contracts. So, but I mean, if you guys have show ideas, shoot some DMs. You find some cool tier makers out there. Shoot us links to those.
No kidding.
Because it's summertime, right? You know, we try to have some guests here and there. But just talking Bengals and having fun, man.
Hey, I'm still hopeful for one former Bengal legend to come on here, hopefully soon.
Yeah,
Yoshi.
But
he left a little note in his locker.
Yeah.
We need.
I will tell you guys. I tell you what, the new turf we got. I licked the turf and it's fresh. Just kidding.
I saw Jake Driscoll puke on turf before.
Yeah.
You know, guys pee on that turf too.
Yeah.
Those tents, they just pee on the ground. They go in those tents.
Yeah, I was watching NFL films or whatever, and a lot of those players say when they got to piss, they just fucking piss in their pants.
I mean, right on that wearing white pants though.
Yeah.
You know, the worst one is the Cowboys, man. Those like light gray pants show sweat so bad. It's nasty.
Can't pee your pants then. Or you just say it's sweat. You just
say
sweat.
You got a real sweaty ass.
Brandon says, Brandon, there was no security when you were there. There was plenty of security when I was there. There was like 5 or 6 guys in every corner.
I'll bet. Greg had
two just followed Greg.
All right.
As he went through the locker room.
Yes.
That's why you didn't have any security, Brandon.
Well, I sent out a tweet first. I sent out a tweet first and said, Yoshi, I love your locker. And a friend, one buddy of mine was like, Greg, you might want to turn it down.
Yoshi got escorted out of Paycor Stadium 5 minutes before the tour started.
Yeah. I licked his locker, but not his sack.
It's true. This is true. We're only 6 months away from another reading of Hookers and Blow by Pork Chop when it's Christmas time.
I got it ready too, just in case.
We really did do that. We had Chop read that.
Yeah.
Hookers and Blow Save Christmas. He read the entire book.
You know what? I thought, just no lie, I thought Barrett Carter likes to read books to kids. Maybe Barrett Carter could come on and do the reading of Hookers and Blow this Christmas. Jeez. Greg,
you may have to buy a new book, another Christmas book by then. There's got to be another.
See if I can come up with something.
There's got to be another one.
Yeah,
to read.
Mm-hmm. And Barrett Carter should come on here and read it
again. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Barrett Carter can come on and read the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Greg,
reach out to Barrett Carter.
I will.
Then we got a Christmas special coming up. We need his help.
Yeah. 6 months from now, we need him to come on here and read Hookers and Blow Save Christmas.
Right.
Do it for the kids.
Right. For the kids.